Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Come here, chicken!
I am TikTok, the Royal Army of Oz.
As we're dropping this on the Thursday, a couple days later, August 1st, from 2 to 5, Nightmare Toys will be having their grand opening party. At this party, we will be doing guest signings, photo ops. There's going to be a DJ, food, drinks. So, celebrities there for sure. The lovable Kane Hodder, the beautiful Danielle Harris, the also beautiful Tamara Glenn, and the goofy and lovable Drew Marvick. I mean, who doesn't love Pool Party Massacre, right?
If you read the IMDb ratings, there's a few people.
They're fucking wrong.
Yeah, no, they're definitely wrong.
They're dead wrong.
That movie is so much fun.
August 1st, 2 to 5 p.m., 1309 South Commerce Street, Las Vegas, Nevada.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, prepare to be amazed, astounded, bedazzled, and otherwise stupefied as we bring to you episode 17 of the Saturday Night at the Movies podcast. My name is Daryl. I'm here with the lovely Miss Cayt Phoenix.
Hey.
And that lovable, cuddly motherfucker that we all want to just spoon with. We want to be the big spoon while he's the little spoon. Mr. Bryan String.
Why do I gotta be the little spoon?
Because I said so.
Every time he's do to stupefy, I just want to come out with like the disturbed like cackle. I don't know why. It just like every time it just pops in my head.
So what's everyone been up to?
Life in quarantine.
Yeah, pretty much the same.
Yeah, I've been doing that for 45 years.
I know it's true. I just sit on my ass all day and watch movies when I'm not working or play video games.
Yeah, there hasn't been a whole lot of good video games lately.
So there's not a whole lot of good video games? Let me ask you this. Have you tried Outer Worlds yet?
It's amazing.
Okay, games that I could actually sit down to play and like just kind of rush through.
Oh yeah, you don't want to rush through that.
Yeah,
no.
That's something I want to like full on like
absorb.
Enjoy everything.
Yeah,
like kind of like Final Fantasy back in the day. Not so much now. Now I just like rush through those. Like I don't care, just go. Bending back and forth if I want this new Xbox.
Oh, I do.
I mean, I guess I'm going to have to if I want to play the new Resident Evil. But
I don't know if we're going to get the Xbox or the PlayStation first. Probably PlayStation.
I don't know. PlayStation's got 825 gigabytes of hard drive. Xbox One's got a terabyte.
Yeah, but what am I storing on there?
The games?
Physical media.
You have to download the games.
Yeah, but still, like your save data will still be there. If you're no longer playing the game, you can still delete them after. Like that's not a big selling point for me. Like I don't care.
I don't know. I hate taking the time to download the game again when I want to play it again.
Yeah, but if you beat it, then I have a PS4 and I still haven't taken up all the space.
Do you know how many times I've beaten Fallout 3 just as an example?
Oh.
Going for all them different endings?
Oh, I've got them all.
I did forget to tell you, so I still have not played it. But Fallout 26, which I will eventually play because I love Fallout. I found the giant like compendium thing that goes with it.
The
the walkthrough, the strategy guide. Yeah. Yeah, and it's actually really cool. So I will have to show you that at some point.
Sweet. So, Cayt, what have you been watching?
Okay. So my list this week is not as long.
Nor is mine.
Watched the second Sicario. I don't remember if I talked about that before.
You talked about the first one, but not
yes.
the second one.
Okay, yeah. Watch the second one. Pretty good. Pulse, which I did not expect. I don't know. The cover was not what I was. Huh?
I'm trying to. Is that the what's her name? Shannon Sosaman, or am I thinking something else? It's the remake one that was put up by Three Dimension. I can't. You're way off camera.
There we go. Now you can see it.
Totally different one. Totally different one.
That was a fun one. Watch Disturbing Behavior with Katie Holmes.
She's foxy in that.
I really liked that one. She's actually from my hometown.
Oh, Toledo. Yeah. Yeah.
And then 3 Days to Kill, Kevin Costner. That one was it was a fun action movie. And then Sunny Boy, which I absolutely loved. And David Carradine is freaking hysterical. Like, I don't know what I thought the movie was or what it was going to be. But it certainly blew all those expectations away. It's just an odd, quirky film. I wouldn't say quirky, but odd. Where they kidnap an orphan baby and raise him to essentially steal and kill. But it's just really weird. And then a film that is actually super quirky and I really, really enjoyed was Welcome to Me with Kristen Wiig. If you guys have not seen that, I don't know, she just plays this really oddball character who has a lot of, I would say, mental illness. And it's her and how she's coped with it after she wins the lottery. So if you haven't seen that, highly recommend it. Also, Kristen Wiig gets topless in it. So
I don't know if that's something that I wanted to see, but now I kind of want to.
She's wearing, well, you see like a full body shot, but she's wearing a merkin. But yeah, you see her tits though.
I'm intrigued now.
Yeah.
I know. The movie itself, though, is really good.
I don't know if that would have been a selling point, but it kind of is.
Yeah, I think I had the movie on Netflix at one point. I don't know if it's still on there.
Yeah, I don't know. It's Welcome to Me.
Welcome to Me. Okay.
It's just a really quirky, weird film about this. Yeah, this chick's just, after she wins the lottery, she wants her own talk show where she talks about herself. Yeah. I quite enjoyed it. It was surprising. I was surprised at how much I really liked it. But yeah, those are all my watches.
Bryan?
All right. I think when I talked to you Friday, I said I was going to hammer out a bunch of movies. That didn't end up being the case.
Such is life.
Such is life, yeah. But I do have 7 of them.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So, I guess I'll just go in order. First one, On Deadly Ground. Steven Seagal in Alaska fighting an oil tycoon.
Oh, I thought you were going to say transsexual Nazi Eskimos.
No, Sir Michael Caine deserves better than that.
Hey, he needs to show that he's versatile.
That's right. From there, I sat down and watched Tango and Cash with Stallone and Kurt Russell. A good buddy cop movie, I guess.
I saw that way back in the day.
He still holds up, surprisingly. From there, don't know why I watched The Roommate. I guess it's because I love Minka Kelly. It was very predictable. A really shitty reboot, remake, whatever you want of Single White Female. Do not recommend it. From there, watch Polaroid, which going in, I knew of the reviews of it being a shitty movie, but I figure, got time to kill. It was done by the guy that did the Child's Play remake.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, in fact, a big old pile of shit. Don't recommend that either. Next, He Never Died with good old Henry Rollins as I'm guessing he was like an angel or something, because he gets messed up in the movie. So, but it was entertaining. Rollins was awesome.
When isn't he?
That this is true. So, it's on Netflix. I don't know if it's streaming anywhere else, but if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it.
Well, I highly recommend anything with Henry Rollins.
This is true as well.
He is why Wrong Turn 2 is the best one.
Let's see, I kind of lean more towards the original, but I do love Wrong Turn 2. Next, The Gallows Act 2 by Daryl's favorite production company. So this one was straight to video. Surprisingly, though, it's better than the first one that they did. Like, I was expecting our found footage crap fest, but most of it is done normally. The found footage is maybe like a third of the movie.
Here's Jump Scare Fest 2020, though.
Not really. I mean, yeah, they do go for the typical jump scares, but it like wasn't as bad as what the movies normally are.
Okay.
So that one is on Prime. And the last one I got is an all found footage movie made from Peru called The Secret of Evil. And it's about a film crew that go into a haunted, I guess it's a mansion that during the day it's like a tour site. And then they go in at night and all the weird shit happens and they end up losing their minds. And that one, I'd say, if you want to see something new in the way of the paranormal found footage movies, give it a shot. That one's also on Prime.
Okay.
And it is in Spanish, but there are subtitles available.
Well, I mean, when you said it was from Peru, I assumed it was in Spanish.
Yeah. But you do, but other people like, well, what's that mean?
This is true.
Yeah, I'll assume that, but found footage, man, have a hard time getting into that.
And that's it. That's all I got.
All right, sounds like I was the loser this week that only watched a few movies because I was just busy with other stuff. I'm going to name this one off first because I don't remember if I mentioned it last week or not. I watched a movie called Cannibal Hookers.
I don't remember you mentioning that. That's a shot on video film from, I think it's 85, directed by the legendary Donald Farmer, who also directed my Midnight Movie Madness from last week, Shark Exorcist. It was okay. It's not fantastic, but it was okay. After that, I watched this very little known, like nobody's ever heard of this, the little film. It's an anthology from the early 80s, directed by some guy and written by some other guy. It's called Creepshow.
Never heard of it.
Made me know about it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Creepshow's a classic. Everyone's got their favorite segments. My personal favorite is The Cayt, which is ironic because whenever I was a kid, I fucking hated The Cayt. I thought it was too long. After that, watched the, I believe it's 1980 classic, Motel Hell.
Yeah.
That movie.
God, sometimes I forget how fucking weird that movie is until I rewatch it. I'm not saying that as a bad thing. It's just like that movie's fucking out there.
It really is.
And then speaking of found footage, went ahead and rewatched for the first time in about 20 years the film that really started the whole found footage craze, the Blair Witch Project. And I will say the same thing that I said 20 years ago. It's a movie.
Yep. Beginning, middle, end.
Yep.
But some, it is a classic now.
Yeah, I know some think it's a classic, and I respect their opinion, even though I just think it's just kind of there. I think if it hadn't had all that hype that you could never get away with these days, you couldn't use the internet to pass this off as real these days. It wouldn't have been as big as it was if so many people didn't go into it thinking that it was real.
Oh yeah, the fact that people actually went looking for them.
Yeah.
People will believe anything.
But yeah, that's my 4 watches. I was kind of busy watching, some other movies that we'll talk about next week.
You're welcome.
I wasn't thanking you.
You know what? I'm just gonna say you're welcome anyway.
I'm about halfway through them.
I'm probably gonna actually start watching them this week too, just because obviously can't leave them for the last minute.
Cram them all in the last day.
Yeah. Ironically, they're playing all of them this weekend at one of our drive-ins.
Ah, see, that'd be fun. Are you gonna go?
I don't know. I mean, if I did, it'd probably just be for Return of the King. Because they're all the extended editions, and they're only doing like one movie a night. So,
well, yeah, you could go and watch. Yeah, just watch one of them one night, and then you got it out of the way.
So, I mean, granted, I could just do them all in the comfort of my house.
That's true too. No people.
Yep,
that's true. Because people are mean.
And your couch or your recliner are probably more comfortable than your seat in your car.
Yeah. And also, you can pause it to go use the bathroom.
That's true.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, I don't, but I just play it over my phone.
I'm curious to know if I can still quote the beginning when I watch it. I've seen it that many times that my friends and I used to just quote it back and forth.
I guess we'll have to find out next week.
Yeah, we'll see.
Nope. So what's anything exciting going on in the world that we want to talk about? In the world of film?
Maybe. I don't know.
What's your maybe?
Oh no, I'm trying to find it now. Crap. Daryl, what was the name of that shark movie that I sent you?
Hold on a second.
Was it? Oh, From the Depths. So, as most people know, me and Daryl love our shark movies. This one, though, is done a very particular way.
Yes.
To where a shark is haunting a traumatized victim in her home. Yeah.
That look on Cayt's face.
I know no one else listening can see the face, but
the face says it all. I don't know, but I watched the trailer and then I sent it to Daryl.
What is it called?
From the Depths.
She had the look on her face like, the fuck?
Yeah, pretty much. I really want to watch it now, though. You need to send me the trailer.
Let's see.
I mean, it can't be any worse than Ouija Shark.
This is true. There was that, and then have you guys seen this whole fiasco with Days of the Dead?
Yes.
With the one worker.
Mm-hmm.
So, what are your guys' thoughts on it? Because I have my thoughts.
In case the listeners don't know, maybe we should talk about it.
Yeah.
Like what it is you're talking about. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So, but essentially, there was a staff member who took a picture with one of the creepy bears, and the shirt was, I think, said just hanging around.
No, it said hang in there.
It said hang in
there. And the shirt was, the picture of a guy being hung from a noose. And the face on the bear was Robin Williams.
Yeah.
Which, at that point, that's just bad taste all around.
Mm-hmm.
But for him to say, gotta have good sense of humor once in a while or something like that on the post.
Right.
Something to that extent. Like, that's just tacky. Like,
and for a staff member of Days of the Dead to share it on the Days of the Dead group, it just makes. I mean, even if the rest of the staff doesn't condone it and is disgusted by it, it makes Days of the Dead look like they approve of that.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, because it came directly from their social media.
Right.
And that's the concern. It was in poor taste for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact now it's just blowing up like wildfire. I don't think even Days of the Dead has apologized.
That's my problem.
And
is because they
that's-
haven't said anything. They've just kept their mouths shut.
And that's my problem too. Like a lot of
The
people,
person that posted it apologized, but Days of the Dead has not.
Yeah,
And
they need to come out and do that.
They need to come out and say it. And the fact that they haven't, that's a big issue. Like I get, you wanted to make your money for the weekend, which a lot of people, they were upset that something was happening. From what I heard, the first night was completely ghost town, as most conventions are. But then the rest of the weekend was pretty packed.
That's not what I heard.
Well, see, and that's why there's like all these different reports happening.
Yeah, what I heard was it was pretty dead the whole weekend, and like no one had any lines.
Yeah, so and which is what I figured. But at the same time, like, for like, you now have this, what's probably, I don't know, maybe the third biggest horror convention stateside, I'm guessing.
Days of the Dead indie.
Well, just the promotion itself.
Well, Days of the Dead in general, yeah.
Yeah,
it's up there.
But the fact now you have all these other shows still planned for the rest of the year. Is there going to be major backlash? People just now not going because they haven't said anything.
Could be.
Yeah, I've actually, so from what I've seen, a couple of vendor friends I've seen are now boycotting the show because they haven't come out and said anything, and because they felt it was really inappropriate. And that means, I mean, who knows what will actually happen, but that does mean potential less vendors, which means less people.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's my biggest thing is when you have staff, your staff are your business. They represent you. And if one of your staff members does something that you don't agree with, you have to immediately come out and say, hey, we don't agree with this. We really apologize. It was in poor taste. Something just say sorry, something along those lines. I've seen other companies where staff members say something and obviously they're like, no, but they come out with a formal apology. And I just think it's odd that they haven't.
Yeah.
Well, I would say there was the whole fiasco with a certain clothing company. I'll just leave it at that.
A couple of them.
They said something, and it backlashed horribly on it. And the person, two of the people for the company, apologized, saying they didn't agree with the statement that was said by the certain party. And then the certain party came out with an apology video, and it got even worse, to where everyone just backlashed against the apology. So it's I don't know, it'll be interesting to see what happens for them the rest of the year. I think in the way of COVID, it's probably best that they just not do anything for the rest of the year.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Especially since I think like 2/3 of the guests canceled on them anyways.
It was like 60% of the guests canceled.
So the fact that
the turnout was terrible,
which I'm sure was expected. So if that was the case, odds are they lost money just running the event rather than moving it to like next year or something.
Yeah.
From there, what else have? Oh, Texas Frightmare finally canceled. We all knew it was coming. So
I think, pretty much conventions this year are.
Here's my thing on it, though. So you have an email sent to you saying, hey, here's a new link for the hotels. You got to rebook everything. And, we're going to make it a lot better. We're going to have more names, newer names. A lot of the people that weren't positive, they can make the newer dates reconfirmed, saying, yeah, we can now make that. For you to come out and say that the hotels are canceling everything to where, you have people go back on, book new rooms, only for a couple days later to find out the original rooms they had were fucking transferred over. yeah. Suffice to say, I had 2 rooms booked for that weekend.
Wow.
Dang.
So you have your sleeping room and your party room then?
Oh no, I canceled the 1 room.
Oh, okay.
No, like just the one, the new book room with the newer rates is still like $800.
Damn.
So, but like, why would you say that they're canceling everything and then they transfer it over? Like,
Because
that's
it's
just,
crazy times and no one knows what's going on.
I mean, yeah, but I mean that's just like a lack of communication.
Yeah.
Ugh, frustration, man. I tell you.
Yep. He should have canceled months ago, but that's just me.
This is very true. The fact, and I'll say it right now, the moment they opened up the store to where you could buy previous year's autographs, I knew it was going to be canceled.
Mm-hmm.
Ours here, we were supposed to have 2 of them, one in August and one in October, and they canceled them until next year.
Oh, is that
The Spooky Empire?
Spooky. Yep. Yep. We were supposed to have one in August, and then we were supposed to have one in October. And they just said, it's going to be better. We'll just do it next year.
Yeah. So as far as I know, everything has been canceled. I think Sema Wasteland is still kind of like on the bubble right now for October. Hopefully that one stays. I hope. If not, I'm going to cry. Not really. Yeah, that's the end of my rant. So I don't know. I guess with the whole days thing, what are other people's opinions, I guess, on the matter? I know some people, are supporting days because they went actually through with the event. But at the same time, this thing shows up and it's just kind of like a sledgehammer to it.
I don't know where I stand on them having the event, but I am just like floored that they didn't require masks.
They didn't? I didn't even hear that.
Not. Yeah, they didn't require masks.
So,
I mean, they did the right thing by like not having photo ops and making all the celebrities be able to do table photos. Because sometimes you'll have like Robert England, for example, doesn't do table photos ever. Same with Bruce Campbell.
that's because it would take forever.
Right, but the bigger names, they won't. But, I mean, when they canceled photo ops, they said, look, you guys are going to have to do table photos.
Yeah,
so, I applaud them for that, but the fact that they didn't require masks, that just fucking blows my mind. And I'm not going to get into the whole argument of do they work, do they not work? How about this? Just be fucking courteous to your fellow fucking people. Let's get through this, get this shit under control. Take your fucking mask off after that. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. I mean,
You're here.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I guess for me, I don't care the fact that, they went through with the convention. I mean, it was trial and errors, right? So I guess it's just that little, unfortunate, spot that happened that causes chaos.
Right. I'm not going to say that the bear was in bad taste, but that shirt being on that bear was in bad taste.
Yeah, that's all it was. I don't think the face on the bear is necessarily something. I mean, that's, whatever, but it was the shirt. Yeah, that was definitely in poor taste.
So, I mean, I know the shirt wasn't from the guy that created the bear because he's already come on and said, no, that's not me. So.
All right. Anything else before I go into my
No,
thing?
I think I'm done with my rants.
You got anything, Cayt?
No, I'm good.
No? Okay, so
Midnight Movie Madness.
speaking of Texas Frightmare Weekend, the Midnight Movie Madness for this week is the 2010, very rarely, I never see anybody talking about this. It's a 2010 horror comedy called Texas Frightmare Massacre.
I've heard of it, but I haven't watched it.
Dude, it's like $5 at Amazon. You should pick it up.
I would say it's got like the horse's head on it, right?
Yes, because the killer wears a horse head mask.
Yeah.
It was filmed at Texas Frightmare Weekend in like 2008 or 2009. Back when it was at a different hotel than it's at now. And yeah, it's a fun little movie with a whopping 41 ratings at IMDb. Like I said, I never hear anybody talking about it. So with that, let's get into our main event. This week we're going to talk about the 1985 sequel, but not sequel, to The Wizard of Oz, Return to Oz, starring Fairuza Balk and Piper Laurie. Cayt, was this your first time watching Return to Oz?
Nope. Watched this. It was actually on quite a bit when I lived overseas. So we used to watch it like all the time.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so she could watch that, but not Roger Rabbit. That makes sense.
This doesn't have the adult humor.
Yeah.
It's still creepy and disturbing as shit.
Yeah, I mean, it's dark as shit, but it doesn't have the adult humor.
Dark shit was okay for some reason, except for Harry Potter because he was a wizard.
You're a wizard, Harry.
Bryan, was it your first watch?
It was the first watch in a really long time.
Okay.
Like I don't probably like a 20-year gap.
That's probably about right for me too. Yeah, I had honestly forgotten exactly how dark this movie was.
Mm-hmm.
But for those that haven't seen it, basically everyone still believes that Oz was a dream of Dorothy's, which maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. That's still left up to us to figure out. She's taken to a psychiatric hospital to basically undergo electroshock therapy to make it so that she won't think of Oz anymore. There's a storm, and she flees from the hospital, ends up in a river, which somehow ends up in the ocean, even though she was in Kansas. I don't get that. She ends up in Oz.
Because it's magic, Daryl. Magic.
Right. So Return to Oz had a $25 million budget and made a whopping $11 million at the box office. Because when Michael Eisner took over Disney, he had no faith in the project. Thought basically no one was going to want to see it because it was too dark. So it got nearly no promotion and was in the theater for like 3 weeks.
And now it's got a cult following.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And Michael Eisner's out of a job because he's a douche. So, Cayt, what do you think of Return to Oz?
So I love this movie. It has been one of my favorites since I was a kid, just because we used to watch. I don't know why it was on all the time on Disney Channel overseas, but we used to watch it quite a bit. What are they? The Wheelers? Is that what they're called? Yeah, they scared the hell out of me as a kid,
And
as well
rightly
as
so.
the head nurse. Those were the two that freaked me out. I think because, with the psychiatric hospital, it definitely felt like an insane asylum.
Mm-hmm.
And so for some reason, I thought the head nurse was a lot meaner than she actually is in the movie. Like, for some reason, I thought like she was, I don't know, terrifying. And then the Wheelers, of course, chasing after her with their creepy laughs and everything. That scared the hell out of me. But not the heads for some reason. Like, I was completely chill with the different heads.
You were completely fine with Princess Mombi and her interchangeable heads?
Yeah. Like, I don't know why that was okay. But then the head nurse was terrifying. Like,
that's funny.
Yeah, I don't know, just a weird kid, I guess. But I have loved everything about this. And I forgot about it for a while. And then it's actually, you can get it on Blu-ray from the Disney Movie Club.
Mm-hmm.
And so as soon as I found that out, watched it, and I rewatched it then and was like, oh my goodness, it still holds up though. Like, everything about the movie, I think, still holds up today as it did then.
I'll agree there. I mean, the visual effects, for the most part, especially considering that they're 35 years old, I think they hold up really well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like the whole claymation.
Yeah.
Thing.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously these days that would all be CGI, but they did what they had to do with what they had. CGI technology didn't really exist unless you wanted it to look like Tron.
But yeah, that was pretty much what I thought of the movie.
What do you think of the movie, Bryan?
Okay, so Auntie M, what a bitch.
Yeah, well, it's Piper Laurie. That's
I
what
know,
she
and
does.
that's the only reason I accepted it, because Piper Laurie is so good at being so mean on screen.
Mm-hmm.
I love her. I don't think it would have been as good. But, like, you have her, like, pretty much telling Dorothy, like, it's like, stop or we're going to send you to the nut house. And then you have Uncle Henry, who really just wanted the best for Dorothy. Like, you could tell he wasn't okay with, sending her away.
Right.
So, and then she gets to, psychiatric facility, to where they're going to electrocute her.
Right.
And pretty much make her, at that point, I'm guessing she would have been like a zombie or something, based on how the electric stuff works.
Right. Because, I mean, this was early, because it takes place in 1899. So it was early electricity.
Yeah.
But they didn't really know how to harness it properly yet.
Yeah. Like she probably would have died, like, flat out.
She would have been died, or she would have just had her fucking brain scrambled.
Yeah. So,
well, they make the comment that there's those that didn't, essentially they survived it, but it didn't work, that are in the basement.
Right.
Yeah. Those are, that was your insane asylum. So, I did like how, the nurse looked like the Wicked Witch of the West. I like that aspect. And then just going through Oz, the Return to Oz, and all the Henson production, I thought was really good. Kind of intriguing with Jack Pumpkinhead.
The prototype Jack Skellington.
Yeah, pretty much. So between him and TikTok, and
I love TikTok.
Yeah.
And then who was it? Belina, the talking hen.
She always has annoyed me though. Like something about her voice. I don't know why.
I don't know. But then there's like a part to where Dorothy finally shows up in Oz, and she's wondering what the hell happened. And then she runs in. Who'd she run into first? The Wheelers?
Yes.
And they tell her, like, pretty much all of her friends are gone. They're just gone. So you have the Tin Man and the Lion that became statues. You had the Scarecrow, who was king, but then was called a thief. So he was dethroned, and he was turned into a jewel.
Mm-hmm.
Then, you had the nurse who was there as Moby with all of her fucking heads. And all the heads just screaming and everything. Ugh. It seemed like they had a lot going on, which I guess it did, coming from two different books.
Right. It was the Marvelous Land of Oz and Ozma of Oz.
Yeah. So I think maybe had they just stuck with one book rather than trying to cram everything from two books, maybe the flow would have gone a lot better. Because the movie is almost like 2 hours, right?
Just under.
Yeah.
So I think, maybe some trims here and there, could have kept the pacing a little better. But overall, it's still an entertaining movie.
One thing I never caught before was when Annie M and Dorothy are talking about the house and about how the house isn't finished, but he broke his leg. And she's like, no, his leg has been mended. Like, even going into that part of it, because he's clearly showing signs of depression. I was like, that was something I never caught on before. So some of those tones are definitely, I would say, adult oriented as far as the darkness of it.
Mm-hmm. Then the Gnome King, like, she shows up and he's like, you get 2 wishes, but if you get them wrong, you're dead.
Kids movies of a different time.
Yeah.
I know, right?
I want those back though.
Disney of the 80s. Gotta love them.
Did you know that Christopher Lloyd and Tim Curry are both considered for the Gnome King?
Mm-hmm.
And then Don Knotts was considered for the voice of Belina. That would have been a totally.
I think
fucking
that
hit.
would have been awesome.
That would have made me much happier than the voice that they chose for her.
Yeah. And they considered Dick Van Dyke for Jack Pumpkinhead.
I didn't know that one.
Then one thing I found fun, or that I found interesting, was that Fairuza Balk did all of her own stunts for this movie at 9 years old.
It's because she's a badass.
Yeah, what they said that the couch scene was done 11 times?
11 times, yeah.
Just her plopping her butt on the couch.
Yep.
For the fall.
I mean, at that age too, you're pretty much like, yeah, I'll try whatever.
Yeah. And your bones are a lot more pliable then too.
Yeah.
So you're less likely to break bones.
So Daryl, what did you think of the movie?
I really enjoy the movie. I mean, I grew up as a huge fan of The Wizard of Oz. It's the first movie I ever remember watching. So was I excited for a sequel in 1985? Yeah, of course I was. And I watched it. And just like you, the Wheelers scared the shit out of me. But yeah, I think that for the most part, the movie has aged well. And I think it's a really big movie, especially for the $25 million budget.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's a few times where you can tell you're looking at a matte painting, or like I can't think of the word now, but where they matted in afterwards, a visual overlay. But for the most part, you can tell it's also really big sets, and yeah, it seems like I don't know how they got it that cheap, unless it was just by not having a lot of big names in the movie.
Yeah, well, you figure what for the time, his biggest name was Piper Laurie, right?
Yeah.
So, because I don't think Matt Clark was all that big at the time, right?
No. Piper Laurie would have been the biggest name at the time.
Yeah. Her and Nicole Williamson.
I mean, I wish Eisner had seen more of a future in the movie and had the proper Disney push for it. I think it could have done really well, but he didn't. So it is what it is. Maybe instead of having Star Wars land at Disneyland, we could have Oz.
I just want to go to Disney and see the Wheelers just going down Main Street.
I would say that'd be something cool to see during Halloween, because it does technically take place during Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's a Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween or whatever it's called.
Yeah, Mickey's
Well, it wouldn't be this year because it's canceled.
They give you a shit ton of candy. Apparently, there is a Jack Skellington hiding in ours, but I don't know where it's at. I look every time.
That's what Google's for.
Yeah, but I want to see it. I want to see it for myself.
No, I get it. Like when I go to Disneyland, or even just downtown Disney, I go hidden Mickey hunting, so I get it.
Yeah. So I will say Disney Channel was a lot cooler overseas than it was here. One, it played Return to Oz all the time. But they would also do these segments where they would show you hidden Mickeys in movies and TV shows and at Disney World.
I remember Disney showing a lot of the older stuff growing up.
Yeah.
Like Swiss Family Robinson.
A shitload of the Apple Dumpling Gang.
The Apple Dumpling Gang. Herbie.
Mm-hmm. All the Herbie movies, yeah.
I would say they were showing the Not Quite Humans a lot. And then they kind of geared in maybe late 90s. They shifted everything to where they were doing their original movie every month or some shit like that. Which even then, some of their original movies had some good semi-horror style, I guess. Like the Halloween Towns and stuff like that.
Well, I mean, a lot of the Disney movies have always had dark tones anyways. Look, it's
pretty much any
Sleeping Beauty.
Bambi.
Yeah, Bambi, Sleeping Beauty, Snow White.
Mm-hmm.
The Fox and the Hound.
Peter Pan.
Fuck that
Little
movie.
Mermaid.
They've all had a lot of dark undertones, or just plain been dark.
Well, they take a lot of theirs though from fairy tales too, which tend to be rather dark and more as cautionary tales for children.
Yeah, especially if you're reading the Grimm fairy tales,
Mm-hmm.
which a lot of Disney tales are adapted from. They're just, sanitized a lot.
Yeah. Sanitize. That's such a good word for it.
Given the Disney scrub,
Yeah, pretty much.
Did they make them wear masks?
I'm sure they did not. So, Brian, do we have a hottie of the week?
No, because that's just fucking weird.
Okay, I didn't know if maybe one of Mombi's heads was a hottie of the week or something.
Well, yeah, just the head. Just the head, right? So if in that case, if we're going just by the head, probably Mombi 2.
Is that the blonde one?
No,
I
I
don't
think
remember.
it's the one when she first shows up to the castle,
Okay.
asking her like who she is, where she came from, and
Right.
then she takes off her head and puts on the real head. So, and that actress's name was Sophie Ward.
Sophie Ward? Okay.
So she would has 67 credits to her name.
That's not bad.
Yeah. She was in The Hunger with David Bowie and Susan Sarandon.
Haven't seen that.
She was in Waxworks 2. A lot of TV stuff. Dinotopia.
Oh, I love Dinotopia.
She was in Clive Barker's Book of Blood.
Really?
Yeah.
Might have to watch that tonight.
Dang, we're gonna have to watch Dinotopia sometime.
Yeah. So she has a pretty good extent list.
All right, Cayt, what are we watching next week?
So next week we are gonna watch the amazing trilogy of Lord of the Rings.
Yay.
Yay. I mean, yay!
What? I was gonna say, Brian, what the hell?
No, I've already watched them, so this time I'm watching The Hobbits.
I still haven't watched through all the Hobbits, although it is my favorite book by his. But yeah, so I'm super stoked to watch them. I personally am going to watch the extended editions. Don't know what you guys are going to be watching, but
That's what I've been watching.
Extended editions. It's the only way to go.
It's true though. You get a lot more in there, even though Tom Bombadil wasn't added.
It's like stepping on Legos while barefoot.
For you. For
Yes.
me, it's going to be like, oh, hey, we were best friends once, these movies and I.
It's like having kidney stones while you stick your hand in a hot fryer.
Well, your lovely Sasquatch movie was how I felt.
It was better than these.
Mm-mm.
But hey.
But
different
we'll get
strokes
to
for
argue about that
this is
next
true,
week.
yeah. Different strokes for different folks, right?
Exactly.
I'm doing the right thing, and I'm going into them with fair but critical eyes, and I'm going to give my honest critical opinion of it.
And that is all I'm asking.
I was like, are we doing the rating like as one or each?
For this movie that we're watching now? Or we just
for the Lord of the Rings.
You know what? I'll come up with that later.
Okay. I guess
I'll decide what we're going to do.
Brian, what would you rate the Return to Oz?
Return of Oz. I will give it 4 Jack Pumpkinheads.
Okay. Cayt?
I will give it 5 obnoxious chickens.
Okay. And I will give it 4.5 poison eggs.
The poison eggs.
Don't you know eggs are
Side
poison?
note, this is the first movie I gave a 5 to.
I know this.
And it's because this movie is amazing. And damn near perfect.
And super underrated.
It's true.
I wish I could buy the Blu-ray without being in the Disney Club.
If you want it,
It's on
you
eBay.
could, or just let me know.
I was like, how much is it? Aren't there movies like $30?
So yeah, but it ends up working out because they have a lot of exclusives that you can't get anywhere else unless you want to spend $40. Yeah, 40. It's Return to Oz is about $45 on eBay.
I just saw it for 33.
Yeah, we will get the movies and then we buy like all this other stuff with it, and it ends up working out a lot better. So we do it mostly for the exclusives, but it's worth it.
I think the only reason I would go through with it is for the older movies.
That's mostly why we are a part of it.
Because I know they had the Mighty Ducks on Blu-ray only through them.
All right, guys. Any last words before we peace out?
Nah, I'm good.
Bryan?
I got nothing.
You got nothing.
I got nothing.
You sound like my wallet. I got nothing. But hey, I know for a fact, sitting in my mailbox right now, Joe Castro just sent me Terror Tunes 2.
Oh, that one's a lot of fun. And I love Joe.
It's the one I haven't seen.
I haven't seen 1 or 3, so.
You've only seen 2?
Mm-hmm. Because he gave us copies when we were in LA.
Oh, okay.
I love him, though. Him and his husband are so sweet.
I don't think I met Steven. I don't believe he was at Clownado. If he was, I guess I didn't talk to him.
I don't remember if he was there, but we went over to their house and they cooked for everybody, and we were extras in
Xenophobia, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So that was really cool.
Very cool.
Goal, though, to be in a Joe Castro movie where I get like all weird makeup and stuff on.
Well, that should be a life goal for anybody.
Yeah.
Joe's makeup is fucking amazing.
Yeah, like he showed me some cool behind the scenes stuff from Bone Hill Road and how everything worked. And I was like, that's so amazing. So I told him, I was like, one day, Joe, I want to be in one of your movies, but I want to be a monster.
Hell yeah. That'd be badass. All right. So I guess if you guys have nothing, I have nothing. So I thank everybody for. Oh, this is important. We are now available on iTunes. So if you're listening to us on iTunes, please leave a review and a rating. It actually helps the show a hell of a lot in being discovered.
Yay!
It only took like 3 months, but yay!
Yeah, right. I see. We already have 1 review and 1 rating, though. So that helps.
Yay!
Was it good?
It was a 5-star.
All right. Thank you to whoever did that.
We love you.
Yes. So yeah, if you're listening to us on iTunes, please go rate us on iTunes. Rate us, leave a review. It helps a whole hell of a lot. The more ratings and reviews that we get, the more discoverable we are, and it's going to motivate us to maybe do longer shows or more shows or whatever. Better shows. Maybe we can get sponsors. And that way, if we're doing giveaways, we're not paying money for the shit.
Yeah, which we do have some giveaways coming up that I did pay my own pockets.
Right, that's something like I'm not opposed to doing that, but if we had sponsors, we wouldn't have to.
Yeah. So no, I'm still trying to figure out the time when to do it. We are going to do a movie night with us on our Facebook page. Watch party.
Okay.
We're going to do a double feature. From the ways it's looking, both are going to be horror. But there are 3 giveaway boxes that I have personally put together. The 2 big items are pretty much the same in all the boxes. But then I also throw in smaller stuff in all of them. So
okay.
You are awesome.
I try to be.
So yeah, stay tuned to our social media for all that stuff. And yeah, rate and review. Like, share, subscribe. I don't know. That's YouTube stuff, but still. Well, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. This episode looks like it's going to run a little bit longer than others, but that's okay. Anyways, thank you so much for tuning in. Have a great day. We will see you guys next week. Or we won't see you. You'll hear us. You know what I mean.
Yeah, I'm not doing a live stream. It's in my contract.
Later.
Peace
Bye.
out.
Saturday night